Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tales of a Death Doula. My name is Martha, and I am a certified death doula. And I created this podcast to talk about all of the mysteries of death and dying in order to help us alleviate some of the fear and begin to understand the beautiful lessons that life can teach us about how to live a better life. So tonight we're going to be starting a 3-part series for spooky season. We are in the Halloween week, and we're going to talk about some of the scary things that our fears around death and dying. In tonight's episode, we're going to discuss why I wouldn't want to live forever. So many people think that they want to avoid death, that they want to live forever and never have to be frightened by death. And that somehow living forever would be great. So I've got 7 reasons why I would not want to live forever. And we're going to start with the spookiest one. So the first reason I would not want to live forever is all of the cultural archetypes that are immortal. You've got vampires and zombies and werewolves and deities and scary entities, all that can't be killed and that want to live forever. The unfortunate part about these scary monsters is that they have to steal energy from another living being in order for them to stay alive. And to me, that seems selfish. I mean, how come their life is more important than another person's life? And why do they get to eat my brains? The zombies out there trying to eat brains to stay alive because they don't have their regenerative process anymore to keep their brains active. Or the vampire who has to drink the blood of another living being in order to stay alive. Again, because they don't have the regenerative life process to keep themselves living. So to me, letting Hollywood kind of tell us about what it would be like to be immortal seems awful. I don't want to steal energy from another person in order to just keep myself alive. Again, that seems selfish. Second reason I wouldn't want to live forever is I think I'd get bored. I mean, after the first couple of years, maybe, give it 100 years. Might be fun going and being able to explore everywhere you wanted to go and see everything you wanted to see because you couldn't die. Might be fun for a minute, but then I think I'd get bored. I think that it would be extremely monotonous, just constant, endless existence over and over again. You're just constantly seeing, meeting, being, even if you're meeting aliens and things like that, again, it might be fun first couple of times, but then you start to realize that we're all infinite consciousness, just in different forms, and it seems like it would get a little bit boring. So my own boredom wouldn't want me to stay forever. My third reason for not wanting to live forever is that immortality is meaningless. The fact that we are mortal gives purpose and motivation and even a little mystery into our short existence that we have here on this planet as a human. It makes it incredible. The odds of the fact that we are even here is amazing. But it's the purpose and the motivation that our lives have, because they end. It's not going to go on forever. You don't have infinite time to write the book, or to climb the mountain, or to, see the country that you always wanted to see, or to be the speaker that you wanted to be. It's not infinite. You are on a time clock. And the fact that we don't know when our time ends, how it ends, we don't know what's in store for us, makes it a mystery. It's a magical mystery ride that we're on that I think gives it meaning and purpose. Probably the most important reason that I wouldn't want to live forever is the grief. If you have ever known anybody that has lived and outlived all of their relatives, their friends, their family, they're lonely and they feel like death forgot them. One of my dad's friends that lived in the retirement center that he lived in lived to be quite an old age. He was 100 when he finally passed, but his conversations with me was feeling like death forgot about him, like he was just hanging out, watching all of his friends die. His children had died, his spouse had died, all of his relatives had died, and he was just so grief-stricken that he kept waking up every morning. So I just think that, man, if you see everybody you know, and know that even if you live forever, everybody that you know is going to die all around you. Meanwhile, you're still hanging out, watching all this death around you. It just seems like it would be grief-stricken and just really lonely. So that doesn't make it sound very interesting to me. Also, another reason I wouldn't want to live forever, seems like it's something that would inflate the ego. If you can't be killed and you can't die, and there's no real punishment, or there's no, you don't have any repercussions from your actions, then it seems like your ego would get really inflated and you would just be stuck, in your own existing patterns. Seems like it's for a narcissist, it's very narcissistic to want to live forever. And you would probably inflate your ego and feel like you were God because you couldn't be killed. Again, think about the Hollywood movies of all of these entities and scary monsters whose, egos are narcissistic, crazy, dictator kind of attitudes about, they don't have to worry about morality or values or anything because they can't be touched. Seems like it's a big ego trip to me. Very much a narcissistic kind of attitude. And then there's the beautiful reason that I wouldn't want to live forever, that mortality gives a beautiful meaning to life. It creates a magical essence of why we're here, and you would lose all of that cycle of life, the birth, the life, the death, the rebirth, and round it goes, and you would be out of sync with nature. You would be out of sync with everything in the cosmos. I just think that it would be a real waste to be so out of sync and alone and not be part of humanity. So I would not want to live forever. Another reason, and probably the last reason that I wouldn't want to live forever, museum. And their homes become a museum, and they don't fit in. They're not part of any of these changes that are happening all around them. They're just there, again, kind of stuck, kind of stagnant in their own being. So, these reasons make a lot of sense to me. I don't want to be a selfish monster and have to steal energy from other living beings. I think I'd get bored. I think that you'd lose the purpose and motivation for living. I think that grief would overwhelm you, that the ego would inflate, and you'd have the dynamics of a narcissistic megalomaniac. And no evolution, no change. Albert Einstein says change is the only constant. And if you're just going to live forever, you're not going to transform your being. You're not going to transform your essence and go back around the cycle of life, death, birth, life, death, and rebirth. That is the transformative process. That is evolution. Be disconnected from that cycle, then the world would leave you behind and you wouldn't fit in anywhere. It just seems rather lonely. It seems like I would be begging for death if I had to live forever. So let me just leave you with these thoughts that death gives life meaning. Mortality is a gift that makes every heartbeat holy. It makes every present moment a divine opportunity for your soul to experience this life in its minute present moment aspect, not in a long, infinite dredge of an immortal. So it's not about living forever. It's about living fully now and making the best out of this life that you've been given right here and right now. If you enjoyed my episode, please like and subscribe below. And stay tuned for 2 more of our spooky season episodes around death and dying and confronting some of our real fears about what it means to die. See you next time on Tales of a Death Doula. Thank you.